Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the V&O, man. Welcome to the V&O. Uh, man, I'm just happy to have y'all here, man. I got a great show tonight. Uh, man, we talking about rags to riches, man. We talking about rags to riches. Uh, y'all, man, my brother-in-law, my brother-in-law, he is that guy, man. He is the guy, a true ordinary to extraordinary uh ordinary person with extraordinary uh demeanor story, man. This dude is just he's just an awesome guy, man. This dude is a great dude, man. Listen, last week, man, I had a great time. Workers, y'all did it, man. Y'all did it. Fletcher Holmes, give a shout out to my man Dave, man. Yo, did it big, bro. You did it big, man. Uh, I just want everybody to understand my show, man. The premise of this show is ordinary with extraordinary. Just great people, man. People that you walk past every day. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a little recap of my first week. So my first week, I talked about uh, what I saw in this show and what I wanted to do with this show. So I went through a period of time in my life, man, where just I was talking to a lot of people, and I realized that people that you work with every day, people that you see every day, people that you are around every day, man, these people have these awesome, crazy stories of how they conquered life, man, and they still here. You know, it's people, man, that I've talked to, man, that like, yeah, bro, I had cancer, last month, last year, man. I was they gave me a week to live, and I'm here today. People that you see every day, man. It's people, man, that was homeless. It's a lot of people, man. You see successful people out there, man. It's a lot of people that was homeless. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it. These people are they it might have been you. It might have been you. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing the VNO? I'm doing the VNO uh because I want to inspire. I want to inspire somebody, man. This has taken me on a path to help me understand what it takes. You know what I mean? And I haven't been doing it too long. I've been doing it long enough to know, man, that most people that don't make it, it's because they quit. And uh, I had a thought today. I had a thought today where uh, I had a thought today, man, where I was thinking, like, a lot of times we see stars, man, and a lot of times they have gifts. I say stars, man, but let's say Kevin Hart, for instance. Let's say him, for instance. We might see somebody like him, a comedian, an actor, an actress, and when people talk to him, everybody's excited about their gift that they're sharing with the world. But when you talk to them, they just seem so calm about it, like it's just normal. And here's the thing, man. I'm starting to understand that it's because they're accustomed to their gift. They are accustomed to the gift that God has given them. They're used to moving, and they are acquainted with the grief that it took to get there. They are acquainted with the the heartache and the pain, man. And so they don't look at the gift. It's like when you've been around this great person for all this time, you're acquainted with them. They're acquainted with the gift, and we're looking at it like, man, well, I'm starting this podcast, man. I'm starting to become understand, man. I have my up days and I have my down days, and I've put in a lot of work. I've wanted to quit, and just believe that VNO is going to be something because my heart is to inspire. Uh, just know, man, that this serves a purpose. The reason that I had my brother-in-law on tonight is because Memorial Day just passed. Just to give you a little backstory to Sishman Rimpson and SMR Security Services, uh, man, he had a rough upbringing. He's going to tell you a little bit about it. But he had a very rough upbringing. He was very much so set up to fail. And as I see him, and I've seen him over the past 20 years, I've seen I've seen him encourage himself. And I don't know if he knows it or not. And but he has been so inspirational to me. He has been so we don't even talk that much, but looking from afar, man, but watching him go through his trials in life and how he just kept encouraging himself to see where he's at now. Y'all tune in, man. I can't wait to get him on here, man. I just wanted to give a little background because I don't know if I want to make sure that you guys know what this is and why I'm doing this So, without further ado, my brother-in-law, Sishman Rimpson of SMR Security Services.
Mm-hmm.
My man, can you hear me?
Let me see.
How you doing tonight, bro?
Ron, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you. So let me see. Let me see here.
We working through it. Well, this is him, man. This is those things, man. But this is the guy, man. Can you talk a little bit about yourself? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
There we go. All right.
Can you got me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now, man.
Okay.
All right.
Man, I'm just so happy, bro, to have you on here, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm ecstatic, man, to have you on here, bro. Like, you have really inspired me. Thank you, Marcy. Well, we're gonna throughout the night, bro. We're gonna interact with some of our with some of my peoples. You know,
all right.
And Marcy just welcome you. The chats are gonna pop up at the bottom. But
All
thank
right.
you so much, Marcy. This is I'm excited to have this guy on here. Bro, I had you on here. I'm actually wearing my camouflage hat. It was Memorial Day. Memorial Day, man. And you're an Air Force vet.
I am.
I was looking for somebody, man, that's been in the military. I know I'm after the date, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? We're still the week of. We still honoring our veterans. And thank you for your service, man. I appreciate your service. Can you tell me, since we starting off with that, can you tell me a little bit about your Air Force experience, and like tell me how did you get to the Air Force, bro? Like it was like I think I'm married into the family, man. When you think you were in the Air Force when I married into the family.
Yeah, I was going, man. And first I just want to say, Ron, I'm so proud of you, brother-in-law, for what you're doing, man. I resonate with people who actually they seek out to do a thing and then they accomplish it. You know what I mean? And so for you starting this podcast, man, I think that's huge. I'm all for people chasing after their potential. And so, man, I'm just so proud of you, man. And I'm so honored that you would have me. Anybody want to talk to little old me, man? I'm honored to be here, man. So the Air Force, bro, I went into the Air Force in 2001. What prompted me to go into the Air Force, I had a daughter, my daughter, Amia. I had never left the Midwest, bro. And all I knew was Gary and the Quad Cities, as you know. And my daughter was born, man, and it literally was a paradigm shift for me. Changed my life. I never felt the weight of another human being like I did when Amia came into this earth. And so I knew I had to go, man. I felt a strong press from God to get up out of here, man. And if you know me, I was very close to my grandmother, Chloe T. Harris, my grandmother, man. I never left her. I was spoiled. But that child did something to me, Ron, and I decided to I call that the first grown-up decision I ever made in my life. I left for the military to do better for my daughter, man. And I actually I saw an ad in the paper for a job. They camouflaged it. I didn't know it was the military. I went to the hiring workshop they had, and it
Thank
just
you. Thanks, Gina. Thank you, Gina.
The United States Air Force, man. And I went in there. I took the test the next day. I left 4 days later, just like that.
Bro, were you? How old were you?
At the time, I was 21 or 22, around that time frame. I had worked odd jobs, never kept a job in my life, over 6 months at that time, and joined the Air Force, man. And the rest is history. It brought me to San Antonio, Texas, where I've been now for 21 years.
Wow, man. And you never left.
Never left.
So
Never
you left you left the G and you never came back. No, you came back, man.
I've come back, of course. I've come back to love on family, but I've never lived in the G again. You're right. I've never lived in Gary again. I was exposed to a whole nother world,
Right?
And so, outside of my comfort zone, and I didn't know at the time, but God had a plan.
Yeah, man. No doubt, bro. No doubt. You know, man, y'all got another reason. The premise of the VNO. I don't know if you were able to see my intro to you, bro, but the premise of the views and opinions, man, is to the premise of it is the theme, I guess, the overall theme is ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Sure.
And bro, you got an extraordinary story, man.
Yeah.
Let's backtrack, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, you had a daughter, yeah, man, but before that, man, you had already overcome some trials and tribulations, man. Let's take it back to the G, bro.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to Rock Island.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. And that's man, I'm proud. I'm actually in the final stages of I just penned my first book, man. And you know, I'm so excited, man, that this brother from the G will soon have published author next to my name. Here, I'm actually going over the final draft of my book, man. And that book, Ron, is called Defining Moments.
Defining Moments.
Defining Moments.
Defining Moments.
Of the book. And it goes through my life, bro, not in a chronological order, but it goes through my life, man. And these things that you're talking about, all of these happenings that have happened in my life, I can see now in hindsight that everything I've gone through, bro, these defining moments created the Sishman that I am today.
Yeah.
So it's called Defining Moments, the good, bad, the ugly, and the lessons in between. And so you're right, man. I started from humble beginnings. If anybody knows anything about the G, I was born in the heat of the crack epidemic. And so
yeah,
born in 79. And so
look, man, I got my own views about the crack epidemic, bro. It's go ahead, man. But it's crazy how a lot of our family members, man, it affected it. If I like to say it affected a fellow author. Gina is an author, bro. I got to get you with Gina, man. Gina, I believe, Gina, what is it that you have in awards? She has an authors awards guild, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. But crack, bro. When people say crack, man, I think every African American man in the U.S. during the 80s was affected by crack, whether it was right next to you or some body down the line in your family. But go ahead, bro.
Sure. No, man, it was definitely a systemic plan. The way the drugs infiltrated our neighborhoods. And not only that, they had already started with the systems that Lyndon B. Johnson put in place, welfare and all those types of things. They had started to remove men from the house, especially in our community.
Yes.
And so those social economic programs that we thought were helping us so much were actually tearing down the Black family, man.
Yeah, man.
By the time the 80s, the late 70s, 80s crept along, you had all these single mothers in the projects, you know, man. The man can't be in the house because they inspecting the house every day, right?
Bro.
Bro.
Total
breakdown, bro, of the family. And then they usher drugs in to a community where people are already depressed. They're already struggling.
Let's not talk about how they got ushered in, man. I'm in the middle of snowfall right now, bro. And it's just, this ain't conspiracy theory, man. This is real life.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? This is distinguished. Gina is the Distinguished Authors Guild, man. Okay. She's on Dope Living TV network with me.
Awesome.
She's just great. But remind me, man, to introduce you to, man. Sure. But yeah, man, it's bro, crack got introduced, man, by the same people that look. I'll just say it got introduced by the same people that created the war on drugs.
That's right.
They gave it to you, and then they put us in jail for it. But go ahead, man.
And everybody knows. I mean, it's Googleable, so you can. That's all of this stuff that we're saying. Straight facts. Google.
I'm coining that term, Googleable.
Yeah, and so, yeah, man, and so my mom, my dad was a victim of the street life. So my pops, Nate the Great, I never seen him that much. And then my mom, Karen, bless her heart, sister Karen today, but she fell victim to the drugs,
Yeah.
era, man. So I grew up, not my whole life, Ron, wasn't totally bad. I had parents, aunties, and uncles that stepped in and helped.
Right.
I did see that life that, I can go down the line, the drugs, the projects, the gang banging, anything. Gary was the murder capital of the nation at that time. And so going to bed with gunshots, I mean, I'm not supposed to be here, bro. I'm supposed to either be in the steel mill somewhere. I'm supposed to be selling dope somewhere.
Bro.
Rapper, right? So,
bro.
Yeah, to be a business owner and entrepreneur, running $1 million enterprise, man, multi-million-dollar enterprise is definitely a blessing.
So that was I know, and when I say rags to riches, man, a lot of times, like, yeah, it wasn't bad. Your family stepped in, man, but it was a lot of people, man, they get handed what they you know what I'm saying? They get handed what they have in life.
Sure.
Like, bro, when I hear y'all story, man, like, you weren't supposed to succeed, man. How many of those around you, man, were set up for failure and they didn't succeed? Can't blame them, man, because a lot of these kids, man, like you were talking about the crack era, man, they were set up for failure, bro.
Right.
They were set. I had 3 parents, if you want to know, man. I had my stepdad, Claude. I still have my stepdad, Claude. My mom, they pretty much raised me. But then my dad was there too, man. My dad was in the picture, and then I don't know how much you want to go into, but bro, when I married your sister, man, both of your parents was locked up, man.
They were.
Yeah, they were locked up, man, and like she, man, Candy, man, she totally, Candy is totally, she totally straight edge, man. You wouldn't even be able to tell, and it was surprising to me, man. But bro, how did you process that, man? How did you process that?
It's crazy, man. And, as a child, my life, Ron, and the family that you married into, trauma was that's a part of our life, bro.
Yeah.
I tell people I was born in emergency response.
Man.
And so that was just my life, bro. We dealt with trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And it's sad to say I was kind of used to that PTSD.
Yeah.
I was bound to have it, right? Just because of the era and the life that I was born into. Although I didn't know it at the time, my life was great. You couldn't tell me that back then.
Yeah,
life wasn't great. And so I don't know, Ron. I'm not going to say that I gave it to myself, but I've always had the mentality, bro, I'm going to look at the glass half full. And I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, my dad was a gangster. My dad and instead of me hating my dad and using that, I made up in my mind at a very young age, that's not going to be the life I live. I just wasn't. My mom was drugs. I made up in my mind, I'm never going to do drugs.
Right.
I didn't try marijuana until I was 36 years old.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, because again, those were defining moments, Ron, in my life that created a resolve in me that literally carried me my entire life.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why those of us, Ron, who've made it out of circumstances and situations like those, we've got to go back in the hood and tell everybody, look, this don't have to be your story. You still have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still have a choice. You still have hope. Use this as a catapult to you chasing your potential self, but not as an excuse.
Greg, who's, I don't know if you got to meet Greg, man, but he's Dope Living. He's Mr. Dope Living TV network, man.
Okay.
Mr. Dope Living TV. But he said this is a journey that needs to be told. Thanks for going through and coming out inspiring, brother.
Glory.
Thank you, Greg. That's for real, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For real. Thank you, brother. Look, man, uh, you went into the G, man. What was life like in because you guys didn't always stay in Gary, man. Y'all always, everybody got stories from all the brothers and sisters. Candy, Karen, everybody got stories from Rock Island, man. From Vice Lord and them to
Yes,
Vice,
sir.
dude, I didn't heard about. I don't even know who Vice Lord and them is, bro.
Right, man. I tell you, it was Rock Island was my mom wanted to leave Gary because she was going down a downward spiral, and so we moved to Rock Island, Illinois. Man, it's actually the Quad Cities, so it's 4 cities that are so close to each other. 2 of them cities are in Iowa, Bettendorf and Davenport, and then literally right across the big bridge you have Moline and Rock Island, and those cities come, they're made up of the Quad Cities, and so we moved to Rock Island, Illinois, man, which is the black part of those 4 cities. And man, we did very good. My mom was fighting. My mom was trying her best to stay off that narcotic, man, and
Yeah.
get herself clean. But we moved into a neighborhood full of the same things, and so it was only a matter of time that she fell victim, to that addiction again. And that is when, we were separated from family at that time. Everybody else was in Gary. We were in Rock Island. And so that is when we hit what I would like to call rock bottom.
Yeah.
My mom was fully strung out at that time. And I was the oldest. And so we had to fend, man. We had to survive. And that's what we did in the Arsenal Courts projects, man. ACP, Vice Lords all throughout the projects.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. But we had to survive. And so I had to grow up pretty quickly because I had 3 little sisters I had to protect out there. And so,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that you did, man. Man, thank you, bro. I didn't know you at the time, man, but thank you for looking after my wife and Karen and Keisha, man. You did. You had to grow up quick. Hey, this is who I want to talk about right here. Who is this, bro?
That's Nathan Great. That's my daddy, man.
Man.
That's my pops. Yes, sir.
Bro, I don't want to get you emotional, man, but the VNO is about being emotional, man. But
Sure.
bro, I seen you, man, when you were when I first met him, man. That's him, man. You all in him, bro.
Yeah.
That's look, bro, Nate was a pimp, man. I seen, before, so I met Nate once. And man, I would see Nate periodically throughout the area. And one time, man, I seen Nate. Nate always dressed to the nines. My man was in prison then, bro. Like them pictures was in prison, man. But I see where you get that self-worth from, man. Because even after, I didn't know Nate when he was locked up, man. But which is, I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't know, that's his father.
That's my dad.
Bro, he just had this thing about him, man. I don't even know what to call him, man. But I seen Nate, bro, driving down 61st Avenue. Anybody that live in the area, 61st Avenue, bro, he was sitting in the back of a Toyota Corolla, bro, dressed to the nines, and somebody was driving him. I told Candy when I got him, I said, "Is Nate a real pimp? Is this like?" But bro, when you met him, man, the dude was so endearing, man.
Yeah,
he was such a. Do you think that you were a product of your environment back then? We could stop and answer that for a second.
Sure, I do. Not in a. I mean, how could you not?
Thank you, Gina.
Gina, that when you grow up and you're surrounded by certain things, you're influenced, and so, like I was saying earlier, though, you still have a choice, and I didn't know it at the time. But there's a scripture in the Bible where God in Deuteronomy, he says, I've laid before you 2 choices. I've laid before you life and death. And he said, I would that you would choose life. And so, yes, influences are all around, but they can either influence you to something positive, my sister, or they can influence you to do something negative. And so I heard that story once, Ron, about the alcoholic father who had 2 sons. And one of his sons, grew up and became an alcoholic, and they asked him why. And he said, because my daddy was an alcoholic. The other son grew up to be very successful. And they said, how did you become successful? And he said, because my daddy was an alcoholic, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like it's one of those cases, man, where how are you viewing your life through the lenses that God has given you? And
Yeah.
so I chose not to ever make excuses. I have never used my father and my mother as an excuse to not accomplish anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand me? And
That's
so,
that's
yeah,
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I see that, but you know, it's crazy, man, because like even as I view Nate, bro, like Nate, you never be able to really, I mean, you could anybody been to jail, man. Maybe he has some jail in him, but Nate, like usually cats come out of jail, man, they hardcore, they hard, man. He was such a loving and endearing person. And bro, I see that in you. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm getting into family, man, because I see your mom in you, man. Your mom, man, I love MIL, mother-in-law.
yes,
But she crazy, man. I see that humor, but I also see that endearing, that personality, just personable, man. Uh
yes.
that he passed down to you, man. Uh
My
he was
father, man,
just
my
a he was
father,
just
Ron, he told me before he died, um, we was in a hospital and he said, "You're my potential." And so my dad was a genius, bro. He was talented. He was a musician. He
yeah,
wasn't just a thug, right? He was, yeah, that life got him, but he was a musician, man. He was a writer. My mother, she's a writer. She's a poetry writer. My parents are extremely gifted, man.
yeah.
Gifted and anointed, bro.
Man, for
You know what
real.
I'm saying? It's extremely. And
Yeah.
so I know where my help comes from, man. My parents, who I am who I am today, man, because I've got their DNA, Karen and Nate's DNA running through my blood. You know what I mean? And so, facts. They were both. Don't just judge a book by the cover, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I fully believe, man, that Nate, man, I mean, like for him to come out of jail, man, and be the person that he was living to 100% of
Sure,
his potential. I
sure.
don't want you to ever think, and I don't know if you think, man, I don't think that he failed with you, man. Everything, like he probably poured into a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he was good under pressure, man. I remember, uh, it's the VNO, man. We got to keep it real, bro. When your aunt was killed, you
Mm-hmm.
know, bro, some cats, man, in that funeral, bro. It could have got crazy in there, man.
For
It
sure.
was a straight GI funeral, man, and it could have got wild, man. And he just kind of honed everybody back in, man.
Yeah.
And that was his sister, man. He was upset, but he just kind of calmed everybody down in his own little way.
Man, God has a way of humbling you, man. Now, don't get it twisted. My daddy was a gangster. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
don't get it twisted at all. He was a gangster to his heart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So he was, and I don't say that. I'm unapologetic about who my father was.
Yeah,
I loved him in his gangster. I loved him, and I honored him according to the scripture. I honored my father. That was
yeah,
the
you
first
did.
death, Ron, of somebody that died in my life where I could not think of one regret, bro. I couldn't think of one I love you that I should have told him. I couldn't think of one anything. That's the first person that's ever died in my life where I literally had no regrets.
Man, that's what's up, man.
That's a blessing from God. I've
Yeah,
never felt that with anybody else. And so, yeah, man, my dad, man, and I got extremely close. Pain has a way of breaking you down. What happened actually, not my auntie, but my grandmother died in 2015. And my father, um, it broke him down, man. He had to call me in Texas because they wanted him to disconnect her from the machine and he could not do it. And so my father called me in a very vulnerable moment. And I was on the phone with him for 3 hours and 12 minutes talking to him. He's weeping, he's crying. But in the end, he listened to me and he allowed me to tell the doctors to go ahead and unplug my grandmother's machine.
wow.
And that did something for me and my father, man. He didn't know how to be a daddy prior to that. He had been
Mhm.
out of prison for 4 years, and he and I still hadn't really connected, although I kept going. I didn't get mad. I kept going. But
Yeah,
that moment did something. He was able to be vulnerable. He was able to put down the hard wall that he had up, and he let me in, man. And
yeah,
we didn't know 2 years later, though, he was going to be diagnosed with cancer. We didn't know that was going to happen. And then from there, he battled with that cancer for almost 3 years. but he and I became thick as thieves, man.
Yeah, that was God, man. There's this. I think about it, man. I think about fathers, man. There is this human dynamic in what we call deadbeat dads.
Come on.
And every human possesses it, man. I'm not letting deadbeat dads off the hook. I'm just saying every human possesses this trait. And what it is the longer that you don't do something, the harder it is.
Yeah.
And so if I don't go to the gym for a week,
Whew.
hey man, I might miss the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? Just because I went all last week, I might have gone 5 days, man, and then I might miss a week because of work or whatever. And that could be it for years.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm getting to is this, man. How long were y'all away? This was God, man. How long were y'all away from each other, man? And he could have, that had to be hard on him, man. I know it was hard on you, but that had to be hard on him also.
It was absolutely, he did not know how to be a father, man. You know?
Yeah, right.
My dad was locked up for 21 years, and I did not see him the entire 21 years.
Wow.
We talked on the phone. We would go years without talking. He always tried, but as a kid, I wasn't disciplined enough to stay consistent. And then when he got out, man, I was so excited, man. He got out, bro, and I was in the military at the time, little money. And I saved up my little money that I had, my little coins, and I flew home to meet my father for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And I flew home, Ron, and I went to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother, she was there, and he wasn't there yet. She was like, "Oh, he coming, baby, he coming."
I remember this. Go ahead. I remember this. Yeah.
I'm sitting there, bro, and I'm waiting 30 minutes, an hour, because he know I'm there.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, "Grandma, where are you at?" And she looking out the door every time a car passed. She getting mad. I can see her getting mad, but he ain't here. He coming. And so another hour passed, and I hear my grandma under her breath. I don't know where that nigga, she mad,
yeah.
talking about him, cussing under her breath, I just said, after about 4 or 5 hours, no calls, I said, Grandma, I fly out tomorrow morning. I was like, just tell my daddy I love him, and I'll try to catch him the next time. And so I was crushed, bro, rejected. I called my aunties because I was leaving that next morning. I called my aunties and told them, let's go out to eat. And so they picked a restaurant, Ron, and we went out to eat, man. And I'm sitting there rejected, a little bit, an 8-year-old boy inside that 27.
Yeah, man.
And man, I'm sitting there and I glance out of the corner of my eye and I see this dude. He's sitting with his back towards me, but he's very paranoid. He's looking around and then I notice he's dressed to the T, bro. And then he had on those stocking socks. That
was Nate Rimpson.
And I'm looking at him from behind, and he's got dreads. My father had dreads. And I said to God, God, I know this cannot be possible. Like, out of all the restaurants in the world, this is actually a chapter in my book. It's called A Divine Appointment with Nate the Great. This is a chapter in my book. Wow. But I said, Kat, is that my daddy? And she said, boy, that ain't your dad. Like, how did your daddy be here?
Boy, family, boy.
Something told me, man. And so I got enough nerve after a few minutes, Ron, to get up. And I walked behind this man who I did not know. And I just said, Daddy. I said, Daddy. And he turned around. He jumped up, bro. And, bro, I'm 27. I'm swole. But, bro, I was like a kid, man. My daddy picked me up, man. And everybody in the restaurant started clapping. They don't know what was going on. Everybody, he picked me up, man. And he's kissing me like and it's so crazy, Ron. I resorted to that 8-year-old child in that moment, bro. It was nothing funny about what was going on.
Yeah.
I wanted everything my daddy wanted to give me in that moment, bro. It was a kiss. It was a hug. It was an embrace. We cried. And so I praise God for that, man, because I know God does things sometimes to let you know beyond the shadow of a doubt it's him. There is no way that man been in that restaurant running from me. He wasn't trying to see me, right?
Yeah, right.
So God set that thing up, man, and that's how he's done it, man. And so it's just a beautiful one of the chapters of my book again.
Bro, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You have to I'm give me the link, man. Let me know when it dropped, man. I'm gonna go ahead and promote it, man.
I appreciate it.
Bro, here's the thing, man. you know how that could have gone.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was God. It was God. Like you mentioned the scripture about. Thank you, Gina. You mentioned the scripture about this could go one of two ways, man. You know how many cats would have walked up to him and put their finger in his face
Sure.
and blamed him
Sure.
for all the years he missed in their life for not. I mean, you just got out of a disappointing situation. That was 5 hours, man. Hey, bro, I've been there, man. I've waited at the door for my dad before, man. I feel like you feel, man. I still love my dad, man. Every human has faults,
For
you
sure.
know. But you could also go the opposite way with that, man. You could have been like, man, I'm done with this dude, man. He out eating and you know, man. But that's it's crazy, man, because it's almost like this dude that missed the appointment is the same guy that passed that heart on to you.
Yeah.
To go to him and to be embraced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's kind of, man, what I was seeing Nate, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not I didn't want to stay on Nate like that. My mother-in-law is a wonderful person, man. But like, bro, when I met him, man, and as I've seen you grow over the years, I was like, wow, man, it's crazy how genes and DNA work, man. Like people think, and even spiritual things work, man. How those things get passed down. You know, you said he was away from you for 21 years, man. When I first met him, man, I don't think you were around the first time I met him. I don't think you were.
No.
And it was that dynamic. I was like, wow, man, this is this is my brother-in-law. This is my brother-in-law, man. Like, just, you know, just real cool, man. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out.
We talking about family. Let's go ahead and move along, man. Bro, I always said, man, you got a raw deal, bro.
Hey, come on.
When I say a raw deal, y'all, my man had one. He told y'all about the one.
Sure.
The one. So that's one shot. Then he shot again, man, and he hit a 3. How old were you, bro?
Literally 20 when the triplets were born. 23.
20 what?
23. I think Mimi.
Oh my God, bro! And then look at that, man. Look at that, bro. He hit a 3. There's the trips, man. Yeah, bro. You hit a 3, man, and then after that you shot and you threw up a 2. I was like, my man shot 3 times, man, and he hit 5.
Yeah. Yes.
I said, man, that's not even fair, bro. Like, but like, man, this is one of those things. So you talking about, like, when I say, man, ordinary but extraordinary, bro, you talking about a young man, bro, 23. You know how many cats, man, would have number one, yeah, triplets. Number one, they would have dipped. Some cats, man, that's just reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talked about our past, man, in America, and then you talk about jail systems, and some cats, man, they just would have dipped. And then some cats, man, they would have had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember watching you, man. And bro, you were, I don't want to say an actor, man. You just that guy, bro. I don't know if you was doing it for me and your sister, man, but I watched you, bro, change these little dudes. And I just would have lost my mind, man. I was like, I don't even know if I could have kept up with who got changed or what diaper, man. And you just had a system down, man. You had the bottles down. And I think at the time, man, you had traveled. Were you traveling by yourself? Either you were traveling by yourself with them, but that just took a lot of guts in and of itself, man. You stepped up to the plate, bro.
Yeah,
you
man.
stepped up to the plate, man. Tell me about your family, man. Tell everybody about your family, man, and how that felt.
Yes, man. Man, it was the greatest feeling. It was fearful at first, of course. You know, you move from one child to 4 in a matter of months, and you're only an E2 in the United States Air Force, making $900 a month at the time. It was very, very scary. But that's the same time that I allowed God to come into my life in a special way, you know, around that time of my life. And so my faith was crazy at that time, you know, and it's increased over the years. But I just believe God, man. I believe if He gave me those kids, He was going to create a way for me to take care of them. And so when they get here, Ron, everybody else, I get it. How you doing that? Better you than me. I used to hear those comments, but I'm the type of person, once they hear, bro, it's nothing else to discuss. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to change these Pampers, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Right.
I mean, it's nothing else. You know, I got to get out here and get it. You know,
Yeah.
I got to get out here, and so that's just the type of man that I am. Because partly, I wasn't going to be who my father was.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was motivation.
It was,
But
so
then, man, okay, you had the triplets, man. Man, I'm gonna step up to the plate, and then twins.
So after you have triplets, bro, and you get through that, we were just excited that the twins were in triplets, and so we was good. once you get through triplets, bro, and it's the 3 boys at that, and they all know, and you know, just my goodness.
So you tell, bro, only you, man, would only you would twins be a breath of fresh air.
I ran around the block, bro. I was so happy that they weren't triplets, man.
Let's
quadruplets or
right. Woo, it's not triplets, but let's go into, so you were in the Air Force at the time, man.
Yeah.
Because what I want to get to, man, is you know, you in the Air Force, man, you got 5 kids, like you said, making $900 a month. I'm sure, man, on assistance. You know what I mean? You got to be on assistance, man. You got 5 kids, man, but you working hard. What took you to your next point? Where did you go next? You don't have to name a company if you don't want to, but what was your next step?
Sure. You know your brother-in-law's a hustler, man.
Yeah.
So your brother-in-law's a hustler, man. I get that from my pops, and I found organizations to help me and my family.
What's up, Larry?
And hey, what's up, Larry? I found organizations to help my family, man. And so yes, we were on the food stamps. Then they had different organizations in the military. And so we weren't hurting, man, because I found the things that we needed. But my next step after the military, bro, I got out of the military and I didn't know what I was going to do, Ron. I just knew that I wasn't supposed to stay in the military, leaving my family all the time, right? And so 9/11 happened while I was serving. And so the country was changing and I knew I wasn't going to make a career out of it. And so I got out, man, prayed about it. At the time, my wife and I, my kid's mom, they agreed. We got out, bro, and I went into civil service. I got a security job, actually, on base.
Okay.
Security. And kind of liked it a lot. You know, I was like, security.
A little freedom. It wasn't the military, right?
Military, I had to wear a uniform. And but I got into it with my boss because he was mistreating this gentleman by the name of Howard Overstreet. I tell this story in my book as well. He was mistreating him, man, and bro, I couldn't stand to see people being mistreated, Ron. You know, he was an older white gentleman, Howard Overstreet was, and my boss at the time was just mean to him. He didn't like him because he was old.
Yeah. And
I spoke out about him, and from that moment on, he had me pegged, and so I didn't deal with horrible leadership too well. Yeah. And so when an opportunity came to go work for FEMA, I took a leave of absence. And I went to be a security at FEMA.
This was around Hurricane Katrina, right?
Hurricane Gustav at the time. Okay. And so I got, I'm fresh out the military, Ron. So I'm doing this thing for FEMA. I'm making sure my uniform is tight, shoes still shine. I'm right. 30 minutes. They paying me $2,000 a week because I'm working 7 days straight in overtime. And so
he was hood rich.
Hood rich. I meet this guy every morning, man, named Tom, short white gentleman. Every morning would come in, didn't look like anybody of any type of, significance. But I didn't know, man, after about a month of being there, talking around Tom every morning, I didn't know that Tom was the director of the entire security operations for FEMA. Wow. And he loved what he saw. You only get one shot to make a first impression, bro. And so the first impression that I made to him had him call the client that I was working for, and they removed the supervisor that was in place. He wanted me to be the supervisor. Wow. Of the FEMA operation. That was my first time ever supervising anything. And so in security, I became a supervisor of this operation. And I did so well that the company promoted me within 15 weeks to what's called a general manager. Wow. And so they set me up an office and everything. And that's how I got into the security game. Literally. That's how I got into the
Oh,
security.
you just kind of landed a dead end gig, man. That you got in trouble for right, nothing but God, man. That's what it is,
I
man.
wanted to take care
But
of my family, bro.
for real, man.
Risks and taking
Right,
opportunity. I was away from my family for those 15 weeks. I couldn't
right,
be with them. FEMA deploys you, but I knew I needed that money to take care of my growing family. And so,
right,
a man that does the right thing, God can work with that. When a
man.
man is trying to do the right thing,
Yeah,
that's where it says the steps of a good man are ordered. But if you a sucker, right,
yeah.
and you ain't out here trying to do what you need to do for your kids and your family,
Straight up.
blessings that God has for you, you missing them like crazy.
It's intrinsic in life, man. I always say, man, whether you believe in God or not, man, I see the blessings of God in people because I said I could take the Bible and burn it, man. It's still alive. It
Come on,
still happens. It's still out there. And
come on.
when you go by principles, certain principles, you live by certain principles. I don't care what you believe in, man. Certain things are going to happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because those are just the things that God put in place. Those are blessings that they just rotate, man. That's like the record when the DJ go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It's spinning. It's just spinning. It's just in there.
Yep.
It's in life, man. And you're right, bro. When you do those good things and when you treat people right and when you carry yourself well, man, things like that will happen. But God had his hand on you, man, because you just see God taught me to run a spider crane. That's my guy John, man. He's a good friend of mine, man. He's always encouraging me. Thank you, John.
Man, I know
Let's go ahead and move. What happened next, man? What, like after
so man, I did the FEMA thing. I became a general manager. And then, man, that process of time, Ron, I did security management for 10 years. I paid my dues, bro.
Wow.
I built other people's companies. I made other men millionaires. I built their companies, and I learned by the school of hard knocks about this security game. It's kind of like David, man. He was anointed to be king, at 13, but that didn't come to fruition until 17 years later.
Right.
So he had to be made.
Right.
And so he went through all of these trials and all of these different things.
Right.
I was trying to pull that king out of him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's what happens to us, bro, when you can actually have the right mindset. I started to get confidence as God started to elevate me. Because you talking to a kid that didn't think he was good enough.
Yeah.
Where I come from.
Yeah.
I didn't have the tools. I thought I was dumb. I didn't think I was smart.
Right.
I could sit in a room with all of these white men. And here I am, the only black general manager.
Right.
A company, a multi-million-dollar security company. I
Right.
didn't have the confidence.
A kid from the G.
Right? And so I was rough. I didn't have the confidence. And God, in his loving kindness, man, he brought people into my life to help smooth those stones and to teach me and to make me feel like I wasn't, I did have something to bring to the table. I am valuable. And so over the years, Ron, I began to advance in my career. I became the vice president. Year 9, I became the vice president of operations for another security company. I'm making 6 figures at the time.
Bro, had you been to college?
I had not been to college. I took some
classes. Man, ain't been no schooling. Ain't been no
nothing, bro. Just God. Elevate. And bro. So I got to that level, and then Ron, I started to tap into. I started studying, the principle of first mention. What was God's original intent? I'm not a religious person, bro. I'm a kingdom-minded person. I love Miles Monroe. He's my favorite author, one of my favorite preachers. I don't know if you're familiar with him. But I started to connect, Ron, with God's original intent for us, for man. And his original intent, bro, was for us to lead, bro.
Yeah.
Was for us to dominate.
Right.
Was for us to rule.
Yeah.
For us to have dominion, right?
No doubt, man. I started
tapping into that, bro, and I started feeling myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I tell Greg, man, I said, like I said, Kobe wasn't cocky, man. It's just he wasn't in the gym. Wasn't nobody in the gym shooting with him, man. It was dark. You know what I'm saying? He was shooting by himself. You can't call it cockiness if you was in the gym shooting. God had you in the gym shooting.
Yes.
We gotta move about, man. Cause we on a time, but I really wanna. What took you into your next leg? I think your next leg was your best leg, right?
Yeah, man. I hit a ceiling. I realized that these people are not going to ever make me a CEO because that's their position. Yeah. I realized that they're going to continue to suck me dry and use me for what they can to make them more money. And so I took a leap of faith, bro. And I believed I was a CEO. And I quit my job. I quit that 6-figure job. And I jumped out here on nothing. And I started my own security company in 2016.
Yeah.
I did not get my first contract until 2 years later, bro.
Wow.
So I wanted to quit maybe 5 or 6 times within those 2 years. I gained a lot of weight. I was crazily depressed. But thank God for my wife, Brittany. I tell you, man, if it was not for Britt, I would not have went and kept my licenses up and did all the thing I needed to do, because I didn't know it, but I was about to run smack dab into a blessing in November 2018. A company called me out of the blue. They found my certifications. That's why all you entrepreneurs out here, you need to make sure that you have all your certifications lined up. If you're a veteran-owned business, if you're a minority-owned business, you want to get your DBE, you want to get your hub zone out of the way. You want to get all these certifications attached to your business, because there's people, larger companies out there that are having to do business with minority-owned, small women-owned businesses. They've got to give a percentage of their contract to us. And so a company found me just because I had my certifications still live and active. And that company called me out of the blue, and long story short, offered me a contract. At first, I told him I can't do it. I don't have employees. I don't have uniforms. I don't have nothing. And he said, Sishman, are you a veteran-owned business? I said, yes. He said, I'm asking you one more time, do you want this contract? It was the day before Thanksgiving, Ron. I was at work, working a job, making $30,000 a year, humbled, and out of my mouth, I said yes before I knew it. And the bill rate that I gave him, was crazy. I said, let me see if he turned me down if I shoot him a high bill rate. He accepted the bill rate. And this is how you know it was God, bro. He knew I didn't have money to float payroll. My credit wasn't good enough to get a loan. He allowed me to invoice him for the first 2 months up front.
What?
And that was $66,000. I sent him that invoice, and he paid me the very next day. And literally, I didn't have.
Marcella said Dr. Miles Monroe is a great pastor. I had the pleasure of meeting him and his wife at their church before they passed away. Wow. I've seen some of his clips before. Bro, that is awesome, man. Like, bro, no college. Like, you hadn't been to.
Not yet. I did go back and get my degree.
You did.
I bachelor's in business. I did that because I wanted my sons to see that I finished what I started.
But after you already had everything, God, God got a way of showing you, hey, yo, I know you think you're doing your thing, but this is me. Now you can go ahead and fulfill that. But I don't want you to go thinking that you did all of this because you went to school. No, bro. You just, what's your saying, man? I love your saying, bro. You say, I'm just a kid from Gary.
The kid from the G, man. And
I'm just a kid from the G
all the time, man. And I patent this, bro. But a made up mind, Ron, is undefeated, bro. Undefeated, man.
I tell you what, man, bro, that is so inspiring. Y'all, if you weren't inspired by this, I don't know what's wrong, man. You can't be inspired. This is just a kid from the G, bro. Yeah. That's our time, man. Like, that's not enough, but we gotta sit down again, man, and just hear, bro, like more of this, man. Like, bro, it's so many other things. I spent a lot of time on family because you kind of showed me, man. I was young when I got married. You kind of showed me the way of family. You kind of showed me what it's like to push, man. I'm going through that now, man. A lot of you say, man, what you see, bro, is a lot of what I watched you do over the years. You know what I mean? Push through. Sink or swim, man. This boat is moving. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I got to put it on my back and tow it. Bro, what an inspiring story, man. It's not, what an inspiring life, man. And you still doing it. You still out here doing it. Y'all, SMR Security Services, man. If you in San Antonio, man, holler at your boy over here. He cares. He cares. If you need security, he cares. SMR Security Services. Bro, I'm gonna drop your links on my Facebook. Share this to your Facebook, man. When your book come out, bro, let me know, man. Let me know. We dropping that, man. Real quick. You got ordained. You into everything, man. I'm gonna throw up real quick. You got a license to preach. But you also do life insurance.
I do, man. I'm in the financial services industry as well, man. I'm a broker with Primerica Financial Services, and I love that, man. That's just I believe in multiple streams of income. Right now, my wife and I have multiple streams. I have 5 streams, and it's just I've learned in the financial industry, bro. I'm going to do everything I want to do in my life today. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. And real quick, Ron, I know we got to go.
No, go ahead.
Say this to your followers, man. My dad, when I got my life insurance license, my daddy, man, was so proud of me. This is after my grandmother had died. This is what led me to get life insurance because her and my aunt didn't have life insurance. And so my daddy wanted to be my first client. And so I got a policy on my pops when he was healthy. He was healthy, man.
Bro.
And we got a 6-figure policy on my dad. And the Bible says this, man. It says in Proverbs 13:22, Ron, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And so my daddy, man, we didn't know it at the time. But when he died, man, he left me 6 figures, bro. And those 6 figures allowed me to start SMR Security Service, which last year made 1.4 and this year is going to make 2.7 million.
What?
And so when you think about the scripture, Ron, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. No, my daddy didn't leave me millions, but he left me an inheritance that his grandchildren are now going to benefit.
Bro, this is too much to unfold, man. Are you serious, bro? I didn't know this, but this is too much to unfold, man. You talking about because you decided that you was going to do something, then he did something, and then because he decided that he was going to do something, you did something. Now you're selling insurance, and he be the first one to buy it, and then after he passed away, then you actually inherit from it. Yeah. Bro, you blowing my mind, man. Now y'all understand why this ain't just my brother-in-law. I'm not just having family on here, man. This dude is awesome, man. This dude is wild. Like, this just a wild, crazy, extraordinarily crazy life, man. Like, bro, you got it, man. You got it. I know God gave it to you, man, but you out here moving, man. I'm so proud of you, man. Yeah, I'm proud for you, man. They loan me $1. Hey, you knew somebody was gonna ask. We from well, bro, I'm so happy for you, man. I'm proud of you, man. Who am I to say that I'm proud of you, bro? I'm trying to be like you.
Man, I appreciate that, Ron. I appreciate that, man. Anybody to be inspired by what we do, man. That's what a leader is, bro. I don't lead people, Ron. I lead in the area of my own giftedness.
Yeah.
And so if I can lead in
the area Marcy.
Of giftedness, bro, then people are inspired by it and they follow. And so I'm inspired by you, man. What you're doing, this is huge, Ron.
Thank you, man.
Sitting up there with ET.
Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Hey, that's our show. Thank you, everybody that watched. All my Dope Living TV network family. Thank y'all for commenting. Thank y'all so much. Greg Gray, all of y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. That is the show. V&O. What you know. We'll be right back here, man. I gotta have you on again, man. Thank y'all, man. We out of here.
Thanks for having me.